What's up, guys? Nolan here, and as per usual lately, BSG posted a bunch of stuff literally minutes after I posted my video yesterday, so we're going to discuss that. But first, today we did get a small patch associated with desync, I believe, or at least that's what it looks like according to BSG. So it's possible that we are looking at some improved performance with today's patch. However, I believe the patch also snuck in some stuff for this weekend's event as well, and it might be associated with whatever is happening tomorrow, because something big might actually happen tomorrow. And to be clear, that's in terms of a big event, not necessarily the patch or a wipe or anything like that. I'm just talking about a big important event. Now, to start explaining this, BSG posted this to their YouTube channel again minutes after I posted my video yesterday, and all we have to go off of is the title Death in the Air and this blurry picture. That is until tomorrow when the video actually goes live. In case you didn't know, this is a premiere video on YouTube where there will be a countdown up until the video goes live. BSG have only done this for map and large patch reveals, teases, and trailers. So this will be something big for the game. We have very little solid factual information to go off of here, so if we just stick to that for now, then all we have is that blurry part in the top left is absolutely the terminal location on the current map. Props to Cranky Bicycle on the Discord for figuring that out first. When people weren't believing it, I did a little bit of an edit video for Twitter, which I'll show here in case you don't see it. Now that we know that part is terminal, we can then link the phrase Death in the Air to the 120mm mortars that fell on the location in the raid series. But there's some other possibilities that go along with that as well. Axel TV made a great point that it could be a flare at the bottom of the screen as well, since we don't actually know what that is. Nikita was mentioning that we would be able to call in airdrops and possibly airstrikes, or that the airdrops would sometimes turn out to be airstrikes or something with the flare gun. Basically, the flare gives away your position and it could lead you to getting shelled or bombed when you send them, or at least that's the understanding that I had. Basically, what we have to work with here is that we are certain that the top left is the terminal location, while the stuff on the bottom could be some kind of title, or like Axel TV said, it could be a flare. But those are the most solid logical connections that we've been able to make. Now we're going to stretch them a bit. If we go into speculation, it could go 0 to 100 real quick with this because of that title. With the way that they phrased it, it wouldn't surprise me if this has to do with chemical weapons or radiation. Death in the air, literally. Environmental hazards have always been in the plans for the game, and BSG haven't talked about them too much recently, so this could be a surprise feature release around environmental hazard gameplay. We could see the implementation of radioactive areas where we need Geiger counters and proper protection, or we could see some of Terra Group's lab projects firsthand, in which case some of them might melt certain respirators or gas masks, because in case you didn't know, the story behind Terra Group and the labs is that they were concocting extremely dangerous chemical weapons down there and selling them to the highest bidder. So yeah, Death in the Air might be somewhat literal, and we might be seeing chemical or radioactive hazards real soon, or at least have it be teased or revealed in some way tomorrow, where the connection to terminal might just be they decided that it looked cool to have that coastline there. We don't know. The very large leap in speculation is that this light down to the bottom is a missile, and it could be a nuclear missile, in which case it will have radioactive fallout if it goes off over the region, and that would be the event that obviously brings a wipe to the game, so keep that in mind. The other thing that a nuclear missile would have is an electromagnetic pulse, which is what the cult is all about. They are the witnesses to the blue flame, aka the electromagnetic pulse, that hit Tarkov at the beginning of this conflict. If you want to learn more about that, I had a good talk with Dan Exert about that a while back. I'll link that below. That same cult who is either led or influenced heavily by Lightkeeper and his bodyguard Zrachi, aka the Antler Man, the same Lightkeeper who just so happens to have an extra 1.5 trillion rubles laying around, who also just so happens to be out of town, according to Tagilla. If something crazy happens, it's extremely likely that Lightkeeper is involved, and if Lightkeeper is involved, it's extremely likely it's associated some way with an EMP. Those are the lines that I've drawn personally. My thought is that this could very well be a terminal location tease, just like we've gotten for every map BSG teases the location way before its release, and BSG did say they wanted to get the first iteration of Streets finished before they worked on terminal. Well, that first iteration of Streets is, according to Nikita, being pushed as playable before autumn this year, and really the only thing that they are waiting on is tech, which should be coming in this next patch. It is completely possible that they have terminal in a spot that can at least be teased. Oh, and by the way, it also falls in line with our most recent adjusted theory that the original Sons of Soon door picture is located on terminal. Reminder that we should also be getting something on June 9th with the Summer Games Fest. BSG have had new Streets teases for that the last 3 years, and especially where they're looking to finally release it this year, I assume we'll get something extra special this year. Next, we have this tweet from Nikita yesterday, which will be what I assume is Bakizi's streamer item. If you caught my video yesterday, you'll remember I bet that I wouldn't be alone. It just seemed so weird that they would just give me and only me a streamer item, at least for this patch. So it's likely there's even more creators characters that will be getting in-game items as well. It's very possible these won't be required for the Kappa as well. I was reminded that Nikita has talked about that in the past, where they might add more streamer items, but again, not have them be required for Kappa because there's already so many. So again, we'll see what happens with mine and now Bakizi's and whoever else's might show up. A super last second addition to today's video. BSG changed the image on the YouTube video to this, and it is just way too abstract for us to be certain what it is. The only thing that we're confident about is that that is concrete and that it is some kind of thermal imaging device. The reason why we say it's concrete is because it looks like concrete, and the reason why we say it's a thermal imaging device is because when you look in, you can see the sort of pixels or squares that things will show up in if you look closely at a thermal imaging device. And the reason why we say it's zoomed in is because we don't see any details, we don't see a crosshairs if it's some kind of scope, so we think it is a zoomed in picture of a thermal device for some reason, looking at some kind of either a target or maybe a cross painted onto concrete for some reason. If you guys have any ideas, leave it in the comments. Otherwise, if we figure something out or if we get a new hint before tomorrow, I will tweet about it and we're going to be talking about it in Discord. So make sure if you want the absolute latest news, you follow me on Twitter and or you join the Discord. We are talking about this stuff there constantly. Otherwise, you're going to need to wait for tomorrow's video where we discuss whatever this video is going to be and whatever else might happen along with it. This Death in the Air video will go live at 4 p.m. Eastern US time tomorrow, so that will be a late video as I cover whatever it is. Plus, I expect a new event step tomorrow at least, so I will for sure be talking to you guys again tomorrow. But until then, as always, I will keep an eye out for anything new and let you guys know more once I do. Quick plug here for the Pray for Wipe and Sons of Soon shirts and hoodies. Link below if you like what you see. Thank you guys for the support. But for more Tarkov news and content, follow me on Twitter or check out these playlists here. If you like this video, then you know the drill. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the people who do. If you're looking for people to play with, check out our Discord. Links below if you're interested. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.